What kind of mood are we in today? I think I want to go for a yellow sky. Is that orange? An amber sky? Hello everyone and welcome back to Gregtech New Horizons. And we're back again, not doing chemistry today, although maybe we'll do chemistry today. But in the last episode we done a whole bunch of chemistry here and my jetpack is failing and yes, we set up a whole lot of chemical reactors and distillation towers which were moved from the old base. Oh, you know what, the more I fly around here, the more I dislike this colour. Especially the void colour. What is that? That's gross. Maybe let's go for a nice pink colour. How about that? Yeah, let's go for a pink today. So we moved all of our chemical reactors and oil distillation room last episode, removing every single machine but leaving all of the wiring for some reason. Well, I wasn't planning on doing this, but you know what? Let's take all this. We can maybe use it today. You think it's all going to fit in the inventory? Well, the answer is kind of. I threw away a few things, just miscellaneous blocks. But that is a lot of cables. That's a lot of HSSG cable. Lots of transformers, which are certainly going to be useful. I do want to fill in the holes here though. I've no idea what we're going to use this room for, to be honest. So if you guys have any suggestions, then let me know. But it's not really a priority at the moment. I really want to get this new base looking nice. And speaking of which, I think, you know what, I'm going to be real with you guys. Oh, we missed a cable here. It's hiding. There we go, that's looking at least acceptable now. Yeah, so to be honest with you guys, the void base that we have is not quite where I want it to be, aesthetically. And I know I said I was just going to be doing a lawn base, and we more or less are. But I still want to be happy with the base, right? Hey, I'm loving this pink sky, that's for sure. But yeah, something about the design language here is not quite right. So I want to spend, well, as much time as I really need to today to fix it. I was messing around with some things over here at the ME controller, and it's just not quite where I want it to be. And I tore down some of the structures that I built 2 episodes back as well. I think I'm going to rebuild those today. However, the main progression goal today is I would like to upgrade the rate that we generate resources. Now, this does also come with some extra work, in the sense that we're going to have to upgrade the rate that we process resources as well, or at the very least, the amount that we can store, because this is filling up again. In fact, I think I was crafting a 64k storage component. Let's just add another 64k storage cell. That won't be the last one, that's for sure. But it should give us a little bit of buffer room for the miner, which I did also move between episodes once again. So I went ahead and collected it from the Nether and placed it in the Twilight Forest. It took a while of searching around with the Prospector scanner to find the setup of ores that I was looking for. So as you know, we ran out of diamonds last episode, so I wanted to find at least a diamond vein, and next to the diamond vein, a galena vein. Since galena we can make indium dust with. The purified galena is basically the other piece of the puzzle we need along with sphalerite, which is what the miner was collecting previously in the nether, to make us indium dust. Well, we make indium concentrate and then we convert that into indium dust, which is done in these machines here in the void. Also, the fact that we now have the mixer and we can use the ender tanks and chests, it just makes it so much better to move and place the miners again. So much more convenient. All we have to worry about really is the power output and being able to actually process all the resources. But the processing we're going to leave for another day. We are going to improve our resource generation rate, and to do that, we are going to craft another ore drilling plant. Is that what they're called? Yes. So there's multiple tiers of this thing. Right now we only have the tier 1, and we actually have a few single block miners, these guys here, which we haven't used in, I don't even know, a very long time. These are MV and HV, but we're not going to use these anymore. In fact, we are probably never going to use these anymore. I want to move exclusively over to the multi-block miners, which have greater range and also give us 3x as much crushed ore. Additionally, we get a fortune bonus, and this scales along with the range depending on which tier you go for. So I want to see how many of these we can get. I think we're going to go for 3 miners. So we have to craft another 2 tier 1s, which is mostly EV stuff here. Hey guys, Editor3 here. So I've decided to cut down this segment of the episode since it was essentially just me complaining at the resource costs in GTNH. But I pretty much edited the SMD component recipes to save on some tantalum. I moved some more fluid tanks to the void base, smelted some iridium, and eventually, after some more rambling, I crafted up 2 more tier 1 ore drills in the assembler. But now that you're all caught back up, I'll bring you back in here with some more complaining. Oh no way. This assembler again? This assembler again? I'm not the problem, it's not me this time. Man, we really have to fix... I said this last episode as well, but man, I'm getting there though. We are slowly making our way there. These IV components are just so expensive for us at the moment because of all the graphene. And graphene takes glue to make. Either advanced glue or ethyl cyanacrylate, which is super glue. And neither of these we have automated. The regular advanced glue I've just been batch crafting. And it's in one of these tanks here. That's radon here, 55 buckets, which is plenty. But again, that's another chemical line that we do have to set up pretty soon, because when we run out of that, I'm going to be extremely sad, because that means no more IV stuff. Okay, there's 16 more wire. And the other thing is these take a very long time to craft, so we need to upgrade our auto crafting speed. That's something I want to do when we move it over to the void. Oh, the iridium gears should be finished as well. Yeah, perfect. You know what? There's always something you forget about when you're crafting. Oh, every single time. The first is I'm only making enough components here for 2 miners, and we said we wanted 3 tier 2s, and we were really stretching the budget here. We do need some more iridium crafted, or cooked, so we're going to have to get some more of that going. And the other thing I didn't anticipate is, well, how are we going to send the resources back to base? Obviously, we're going to need 2 more ender chests, right? And you guys all know the recipe for the ender chest. It's this. Nether star plates. Yeah. IV emitters. Which is, quantum star is the wither star. Yeah, wither star, not nether star. Plus iridium rods. That's more, I should have cooked more iridium. Plus a sensor. Plus Thaumcraft aspects, and we need 2 of them. So some of you guys are maybe saying right now, oh 3, what about the dimensional transceiver? You maybe could have used those to send items? And to that I say, well, the ender chest is just a bit of a flex, so... I mean, why not, right? Why not? I think it maybe only took about 2 hours of crafting or so it wasn't actually that bad, and it was a lot of fun messing around with Thaumcraft again. And it gave us an opportunity to add some extra recipes that we were missing in the AE system. For example, Enderium. I believe this is the first time we're crafting Enderium. And Enderium in GTNH is not cheap. It's, yeah, there's several different mixer steps here. So it's Thaumium plus Ender Pearl plus Enderium base. And Enderium base is tin, platinum, and silver. So it's not a cheap recipe at all. And it's a long blast furnace recipe. But that gave me a chance to wait on the graphene and the rest of the IV components for the miner. And plus, this is a multi-block structure, remember? So we need also maintenance, input and output hatches and buses. Energy hatches, a way to power them. A few machine casings and some frame boxes to make up the rest of the multi-block. And then it was just gathering the materials for the ender chests. So an obsidian chest, dense enderium plates, IV emitters and sensors, and then we need wither star plates as well. Wait, I just unironically said wither star plates. It's nether star plates. I'm never gonna... It's... Whatever. You know what I mean, right? The white plates. So I went into the nether, used our powered spawner, farmed up a bunch of wither skeleton skulls, and yeah, annihilated the wither a couple of times. It was by no means a scientific test, but I'm pretty sure the Vajra does more damage than our sword, or any of the weapons that we have. With the exception of the crossbow, because the crossbow does some really mighty damage. But the wither is melee only, or at least after a certain point, so... I didn't actually realise this, but I think this is the first time we're actually crafting the ender chest. I believe the rest we got out of loot bags before. And I decided to craft 3 of them. We actually only need 2, but I thought, you know, we might as well just batch craft this, right? In case we need an extra spare one. We don't have to craft it in the future. And we can maybe get lucky in the loot bags later, if we need any extra. Alright, so I'm not sure if the miner has finished yet in the Twilight Forest. It has been there for, well, a number of hours by now. And there's a lot of mobs here. See ya, creeper. See ya. Skeleton down here as well. Yeah, let's head into the Twilight Forest. and pick up the miner, regardless of if it's finished or not. It doesn't really matter. We're going to move them all, and I kind of want to get all of these upgraded at once, just since we have all the resources sitting. So if I can find it here. Aha, the big ugly structure in the Twilight Forest. I mean, we have the Vajra now, right? So it's, oh, something has stopped. I think it's finished, or... So the question is, where are we going to put these miners? Because to be honest, I don't really know of anything that we need immediately, resource-wise. It's kind of difficult to keep track of when there's just so many ore veins in the game, and we only have access to a certain amount of planets right now. Pretty soon I want to start to look at crafting the next tier of rocket, which for us is tier 3. Right now we only have the tier 2 rocket, and we're going to be one step closer to that, to our goal of the tier 7. Where's the portal here? Is it here? Yeah. Anyways, for now, let's cash in on all the crafting I've just done and craft the ore drilling plants. Oh, this one doesn't stack with the others. I bet it's because we have the machine controller on. We should probably remove that. Yep. Okay, by now they should appear in the AE system. Perfect. I don't think there's a quest for these. No, it doesn't look like it. Just the tier 1. Yeah, and in this chest should be everything we need for the multi-block structure. I think we're actually only missing... We're missing a generator. Yeah, we need to make EV gas turbines. We're going to run these at EV. So I made up some energy hatches. We used to run the last one at HV here. So I'm going to take out the HV energy hatch. And we can reuse this for, I don't know, something else. Okay, there we go. I forgot to craft an extra set of titanium machine casing. Since the tier 1 only uses steel. And the frame boxes as well, but... Yeah, we should have everything we need, besides the ender tanks. I didn't craft any extra ender tanks, I only crafted ender chests, which by the way we should colour here, or at least 2 of them to triple light blue, which is our ore network channel. Let's give an ender chest here and here. Wait, where's the 3rd ender chest? Is it still... Yeah, it's still in the compressed chest. There we go. So we're missing 2 ender tanks, right? And I was gonna craft them, and then I remembered we have this old benzene system here, and this for some reason has an ender tank. I noticed this only about 2 days ago when I was here. And we can also actually tear down all these machines. This used to make us benzene, which is what we use to power the gas turbines and power the base. So this was our old system. It's since been decommissioned. However, if you guys are still looking for an early game or early game-ish fuel source, then you can find the schematic to this whole setup, designed by the amazing Metis, or Shadow of X. You might have seen him in the comments or in Discord, but he put together a schematic for this whole thing, and it will give you benzene, which you can use in gas turbines. If I remember right, the only input for this is logs, so you do have to set up a wood farm, and also I suppose do a lot of early game crafting, because there's a lot of materials needed to get this all up and running. And I forgot about all these drawers here. We might need to use this in the future. There's some decent stuff here. Kind of. Anyway, so that's one ender tank, right? What about the other one? Well, over here in the void dimension, we are using an ender tank to supply benzene to the turbines, which are turned on. Any maintenance issues here? Nah, I think we're all good. Yeah, we're using an ender tank here. And if I remember correctly, that benzene tank is connected over here to the main benzene buffer. I think, well, I did make a duplicate over in the void of benzene. This tank, however, has a wireless fluid detector cover, which is on frequency 575, and this is connected to our main benzene producer, which superseded that old one that we took the ender tank from. So through here is where we make all of our benzene now, with the upgraded machines and faster production rates. And the cover... The other side of that frequency, 575, is on these distillation towers, which essentially just controls them whenever that tank is below a certain buffer. Then the DTs turn on and make us more benzene fuel. So what we're going to do here is find the benzene tank, which I believe is this one here, and it's probably empty by now. Yeah, it's empty. We're going to switch this out with the other tank, the Super Tank 2, which can hold 8 million, compared to the regular Super Tank's 4 million. So this was the one taken from the overworld base. It has the fluid detector cover on the side, 575. And what is this? Just a pump? Okay, we don't need the pump on the side. We can remove the pump. So this should still control the distillation towers in the overworld. However, now we have access to the fluid storage bus, which should mean that we can see benzene in our AE system now. We can see the 7 million that we have in the super tank. Oh, you know what? Just before we do anything else, I did... Oh, wait, hold on. This might have messed stuff up. Because you know how we used fluid P2P for fluid movement? And since that's no longer connected, we only have the fluid storage bus. If I'm remembering correctly, these turbines here, which we still need to power the overworld side of the base, are connected via fluid P2P. So if we come down here, the benzene tank here, this is, I guess, their buffer is full, but we fill the tank using fluid P2P here, and this is connected to that fluid P2P I just disconnected up there. Yeah, so what we're going to have to do is get rid of this fluid P2P and replace it with a fluid export bus, filtered for benzene, just regular benzene. We might switch up to nitrobenzene, which is a more dense fuel source soon, although I'm not so sure. Oh, and we're dying. We're dying. Get some terawart. Remove the debuff. Are we still carrying benzene around? No, it's just because we were and I didn't eat. Yeah, so the fluid export bus is going to provide fuel to this super tank as a small buffer on site. And it should mean we still have the ability to run these turbines here. But similarly, now that we have it all connected via applied energistics storage buses, we can in fact remove this benzene tank, which is now empty. We need to be careful actually, we don't run out of power. I don't think anything disastrous happens if we run out of power. To be honest, I'm not really up for finding out though. But yeah, so what we're going to do instead is hook up a wireless connector, another super tank here for buffer. Oh, actually, this is going to have to be moved to around here. Then fluid export bus and a piece of Fluix cable. This is going to be changed whenever we add more turbines, which I'm thinking I'm going to do this episode actually. Again, we're going to filter this for benzene. Yeah, we definitely do not want the void overflow feature on here on the super tank. We'll lock this for benzene, and now we have to plug this in to some channels. Blue cables up here is the subnet, so we can't plug it in there. We're going to have to find the output of a P2P somewhere. And I think what I might just do is... should we just extend this along? This little temporary connection here until we can... Yeah, I think this is the easiest way. We just need this plugged in, and we can sort it out later whenever we rewire the controller. Which is something I've been saying for way too many episodes, I feel like, but we'll get to it at some point. I feel like we've been doing a lot of applied energistics recently, so we'll try to mix things up, maybe get the rocket beforehand. So wireless connector here, and the other side should just go up to here. And any second now, this should start to fill of benzene. Oh, I see smoke. We're in business. We're nice. Nice. The turbines have turned on again. Perfect. This should fill up, but just for safety, I'm going to add an acceleration card. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Perfect. Perfect indeed. Let's do our first real-world test. Now that we have the ender tanks, we have the ender chests. I've like double, triple checked that we have everything here. But we're just going to go for it. We're going to go for another planet. We're going to go to Deimos, I think. So this, I believe, is the first... Well, I know it's the first time we're using the rocket since I rebooted the series, so... It's the first time I've been in space for a while. For like 10 months, 11 months maybe. And you know what, even though we have all the protections, we have the Spectre key in case we run out of oxygen, I still always get nervous going to other planets, because if you die with the rocket, or yeah, if you die on another planet and the rocket's trapped there, then, I mean, you're basically toast after that. Okay, so we have everything. Here's to many more rocket trips. Whatever you do, 3, do not press shift. Don't get out your rocket now. That's another thing that could go wrong, I suppose. If you just like ditch the rocket mid-air. I don't actually know what happens. Does it land back on... Does it fall back down, or does it like go straight up to space and you lose it forever? I'm not actually sure. Oh, it's good to see the keyhole from up here again. Amazing. Oh, this is always so cool. It's always so cool. Very time consuming though, and I'm going to be doing this a lot over the coming weeks. Especially now that we have 3 miners that we have to I mean, at least try to keep 100% uptime on, although that's, I mean, realistically impossible. Okay, so haven't seen this screen for a while. We're going to Mars. No, we're going to Mars's moon. I want to go to Deimos here. We gonna get a good bounce? Kind of. That was alright. That was alright. Nice, well, we made it. We're not suffocating immediately. I didn't check our oxygen in the oxygen tanks, but it looks like we're okay. Yeah, we're good. We're good for oxygen. Alright, let's grab the rocket. Oh, we have no sound. Why is there no sound? Wait, are we missing the frequency module? I think this is what you need to hear in space, or like, yeah, have audio. But we do I don't want to take it off just in case that's part of the oxygen equipment, in case we start suffocating, but I don't know, that's weird. Anyway, so we should still have our prospector scanner results here, because I did copy this over whenever I updated the pack. And let's see what we want to get here. Yeah, we are looking for a monazite vein. And we're looking for a monazite, not for the monazite itself, but for the sporadic ores, which you can also find, called neodymium. And neodymium is used in the EV components. I know that I've used a lot of that recently, so I really want to top up neodymium. And as far as I know, there's not really any other way for us to get it at the moment. Wow. Did you see that? I don't think I've actually ever seen that, like, right in front of me. That was crazy. Normally there's a sound with that as well, but I guess not. Okay, let's focus here. Neodymium, there should be lots of it. Yeah, monazite veins. Is there anything else we want to target here while we're here? Maybe sulfur? Okay, so I've been searching around a little bit. I think I've found a pretty decent spot for the miners to be placed, although I'm not sure if it's optimal, so maybe you guys can confirm. The multi-block tier 2 miner has a range, or a radius, it says, of 64 blocks maximum, which is, going to be 4 chunks. Let's make sure we actually cover this, just in case any meteors hit it, because I think that would be a disaster. Although the fallen meteors only occur when a player is in the area, right? So I think we might be okay, but I'm still going to cover it, just in case. Just in case, you never know. And we're out of blocks. It's so strange not having any sound here. I wonder what's up with that. I'm also really hoping I didn't forget about anything, but I think we're good. So we need, of course, energy hatch. We need gas turbine. Let's cover this up a little bit more here on the side. Okay, we'll do input bus, output bus next to the controller, input hatch for the drilling fluid, and then maintenance hatch, and the rest is just going to be casings, I believe, surrounded by the frame boxes. Exactly the same structure as the tier 1, except it's titanium now instead of regular steel. I am aware of our oxygen supply as well in the top left of the screen. I think we're okay for now. Okay, so we need benzene, which is going to feed into the gas turbine here. That gets the turbine spinning. Let's make sure everything is pointing the right way. So that goes into the energy hatch. We have our ender chest, which goes on the output bus here, and ender tank here. Make sure this is filling up. So I'm not actually sure if we need the item detector cover. So it used to be that the multi-block miner would void things, but I don't think that happens anymore because of this void nothing feature. It's the same thing we're making use of with the distillation towers last episode, but I think I'm still going to switch this, so 32. So if there's anything ever in the output bus, it's going to stop, like if it ends up backed up, but I don't think it's going to stop. So enable with redstone and safe mode. But all we have to do now is maintenance. I don't think it's going to happen though, because we have void nothing. But yeah, maintenance, mining pipe, which we should have in here. I did make some more, which goes in the input bus over this side. And are you going to turn on? Yes, perfect. All right, so yeah, make sure everything is in order here. Don't forget our chest. I did enabled fluid auto output to the turbine. Things are going into the chest. Let's just make sure we are getting output here, and I think we are. I just seen a bit of titanium. So this multi-block miner has a range of 64 blocks. It's a radius of 64. I did turn this on as well, right? Yes, I did. Let's also chunk load. I don't know if chunk loading is necessary anymore, since I noticed there is a feature in the multi-block itself. I think this is new as well in the new update. But I guess we'll chunk load regardless with server utilities. We don't need these ones, and we'll add a waypoint. So miner and monazite. And this thing is just going to do its thing. So it has a range of 64 blocks. I decided to go like in between some ore veins, so we should just be touching the edge of this magnetite vein and lapis. And I don't know if we might end up getting a bit of tungstate here as well, but we'll definitely get the monazite veins since we're in between the two. I don't know if we're going to get the Orharican vein. I don't know if that's going to be in range or not. Aha, there we go. So our relog seemed to have fixed the audio. We do need to add a muffler upgrade to that thing, most likely, although we're not really going to be in range for any length of time. And I noticed we were a bit low on fuel, so I used the fuel loader to fuel up the rocket. We should be good to leave this planet now. Oh, and check out how many unexplored solar systems there are. Like, so many places we've yet to visit. Although, you know, of course we need the higher tier rockets to even dream of visiting these planets. Like Anubis, I think this is like tier 8. In fact, it doesn't even say the tier. I have no idea what this is. Yeah, tier 9, Horus. Ra. I don't know. You might even need the space elevator to visit that planet. I'm not sure. Alright, so now we are getting our resources enter the ore processing system, and this is going to just do its thing over the next few hours. Well, more than a few hours. It's going to take more than a few hours, but I guess the ore drill is faster than the tier 1, so maybe it's going to be finished in a quicker amount of time. I don't know if that's offset by the range increase that we get. And obviously we have 2 more ore drilling plants, which I'm about to go and place here in the next couple of hours. However, right about now is going to be a very big cut in the episode. I'm going to do some building here, and I think I've also decided we are going to add some more large gas turbines. We should have enough for another 5 at least. We do have 1 here crafted, but I think I'm just going to go for another 5. I'm pretty sure we're going to have the stuff and the jetpack again. Saves us once more. By the way, I've stopped using the flight potion. I almost exclusively use the nano chestplate by now. And I'm getting used to it slowly. The only thing is, and I seen one of you guys comment last episode, we don't have, like, we can't lock ourselves vertically in the air by holding shift and space because of the hover mode. We just descend, and I don't think there's a way to fix that either. So yeah, that's one little quirk of the jetpack, which I'm slowly getting used to. Anyways, it's kind of hard to explain here what I'm about to do, so maybe I'll just show you instead. Alright, so here we are several days later. I'm not sure how big of a difference you guys are going to spot here. So maybe it wasn't even worth it, but I think it was worth it. Essentially what I've done is switched out the block which these towers are built of. So it used to be Spellstone block, and it's now Qubit block. Spellstone was also on the floor, and I've switched all of that out. And we also use a lot of architecture blocks in the build as well, right? Particularly on the towers. And those things you cannot place with the Schematica mod printer function. So I've essentially rebuilt the entire base. I mean, at least in my opinion though, it was worth it. So I'll show you really quick the way it used to be. We used to use Qubit 0, which is like the darkest of the Qubit blocks. These are essentially just a grayscale block from black to white. So we used to use Qubit 0. I've switched it to Qubit 1 and 2. So just so you can see the difference here, it used to be this. So it's probably, you guys are saying, why did you do that? Why? Why are you crazy enough to do that? It used to be Qubit 0 into Spellstone block, and you can see the difference in color. And Spellstone, this block here, used to be the tower material, and that's what, like, yeah, all of this Qubit used to be Spellstone. Yeah, it was a nightmare to place all this. It was such a nightmare, but it was worth it. I think it's much more of a grown-up design, I guess you could say. I don't know, it's much more simplified, I will admit that much. And maybe some of you guys preferred it the other way, but I think I definitely prefer it the way we have it now. This Spellstone block is just not, it's not really neutral enough of a block. It's too blue. Or I don't know, it's maybe just too textured, but I've kind of gone off it. I don't really like it anymore, at least not this color. And you might also remember the ginormous structures that we used to have on the end here, which were way too top heavy, overcomplicated, and it just didn't really fit with the towers. And so I think this much more pared back and simplified design works much better, I think. We also got some tinted glass on the top, which is easy enough to make. It's the white variant. And yeah, I think this is going to look awesome to carry all of our AE cables. So I'm thinking that we extend this, well, basically the whole length of the base. And I might also extend it this way as well to go over top of all the machines, but I haven't quite decided on that yet. Maybe a smaller version of this design. I think finally, finally, I'm in a position where I'm actually happy with the base, and yeah, happy to continue this theme moving forward. And I know some of you guys are going to be rolling your eyes right now. Oh, 3 not happy with the base again. Like, what is it this time? But so you know, sometimes you just have to scratch that itch. You know, that creative itch. You just think like, what if it was a different block? What if we switched this block out? And sometimes you just have to do it. But now, after the fact, I'm really glad I made the swap. By the way, you might notice these fluid P2Ps. So I noticed pretty quickly after we got back from Demos that we were out of benzene completely. And the reason for that is because, you know how we broke that fluid P2P on the benzene tank and moved it over to the void dimension? Well, it turns out that was how the benzene was entering the system and entering the main buffer. So coming out of the distillation towers, it was going into an unlinked P2P, which led nowhere. So yeah, the solution was pretty simple, just to add some dual interfaces so that it's ingested into applied energistics, and then sent to the storage bus in the new super tank in the void. I just thought I'd point that out early, since that is, yeah, we did run out of benzene, but fortunately nothing catastrophic happened, I don't think. The benzene levels have since recovered, and we're back up to 7 million, back up to a full buffer. Okay, so now that the base is adjusted and looking much better, at least in my opinion, anyway, I also simplified the design here on the data drives, and I just noticed these are offline. Missing a channel? Wait, missing a channel? How is that? Oh, now they're back online. That is very strange. I wonder if we're out of power here. I'm gonna have to investigate that. Maybe let me know if you guys have any potential fixes for that. The chunks are loaded here, right? Yeah, they should be. Anyways, there's one more thing I want to look into this episode, and that is the advanced information panel. So I did go ahead and add recipes for all this stuff, and these things are a nightmare to craft. There's so many different steps, like colored dyes, I mean, it's not expensive. It's just a lot of different steps to make all this stuff, but we do have recipes to add some more. So there's the advanced information panel. I believe there's also an extender as well. So a few of you guys have actually recommended this to me, and yeah, essentially what this is going to do is give us a display of the... Well, it can actually display a lot of different things, like nuclear reactors or Gregtech machines, and we're going to use it for the Lapotronic Supercapacitor, which is, of course, the multi-block battery up here. So we did use these in Season 1, but it's been a while since then. I think they've also changed, maybe not, but I think we just have to right-click, and that gives us a sensor card bound to the supercapacitor. And then we can put this inside the information panel. I'm not sure where this is going to live yet, but I believe we just have to put the sensor card in, give it a redstone signal. Aha! I believe it gives all the same numbers that you get whenever you scan it with the portable scanner, but we get an information readout, and we can see all the numbers live, and it updates in real time. So you can see things like the total capacity, we can see the passive loss, any maintenance issues here, the amount of capacitors, although it seems to only show UHV or above. But yeah, average EU. I wonder if those information panel extenders have crafted, because that should give us a bigger display. Oh, don't tell me a recipe is broken. That assembler again. Oh, and it totally is as well. It is this assembler. What is going on here? Yeah, we give it a redstone signal again, and we can see a much more extended display. I might have to craft up like 6 of these things and make it huge, because I'm pretty sure you can like remove information here. I don't know, I might mess around with that between episodes. But if you guys have a good suggestion on where we can place this, then let me know. But the plan right now anyway is to build a control room, the main panel room, which is going to be where the main terminals are, and we can encode recipes. We'll have a bunch of manual machines there as well, that we can interact with in close proximity. And I want that like on the other side of the controller, so I don't necessarily want this to be the center of the base, or at least not the main point that we'll be spending most of the time at like the terminals. I want to build a dedicated area, probably over here somewhere. So I'm thinking the displays are going to be appropriate in there. By the way, I did also craft those turbines. So we got 10 more. I have not crafted the turbine blades yet though. The turbine rotors, although we do have the HSSE. Yeah, I'll make sure to craft the turbines for next episode, but we do have to set up the wiring here up at the battery. So one thing you guys mentioned and suggested last episode with the wireless charger is instead of doing all this transformer shenanigans here, which is now actually in the way of the second input line. So because we now have turbines on both sides of the capacitor, it means we also have to add another input line, right? So this white line here is the one coming from the turbines. Okay, I didn't expect that. I guess that got all the cable. Hopefully it didn't mess with anything underneath here. No, I don't think so. By the way, I changed the way that we, that wireless connector that used to be here, I switched it out with just some cable. And that way we can give benzene to all of the super tanks. So we give them like one for each side. Or yeah, a fluid export bus for each set of turbines. And they all have their own super tank buffer of benzene. But yeah, we ran out of amperage on this cable, so we have to add another input line from the turbines. And this cable is now in the way, which transforms down to the wireless charger. So instead of doing this transformer stuff here, we are instead just going to add another extreme transformer, no, extreme voltage dynamo hatch onto the battery, since it can have more than one here. And that way we should just be able to plug in the wireless charger straight into the battery, and we'll have to switch it back down to medium range mode or mixed mode. Actually, let's go ahead and move this out a block, because I also want to plug in the energy acceptor for applied energistics power, just as another power source in this dimension, although I'm still not sure what's up with the drives down there losing power. But then we can place the wireless charger up here somewhere. Yeah, and then I've also crafted up another 16 amp IV dynamo hatch, which we can put here. Oh, quick, before machines start turning off. Although I don't think much is actually running at the moment, to be honest, because we're out of oil for the chemistry processes. But yeah, this is going to be our second input line into the capacitor from the second set of turbines whenever we have the rotor blades themselves. So yeah, now we have two input lines, one output line, and I guess another EV output line here, which feeds the charger and the energy acceptor. However, guys, at this point, we're going to wrap up the episode with some bad news. So it turns out that the miner has stopped, and it stopped way sooner than I imagined it to. So I was building for hours, and I came and checked on this thing before I even started building, and we stopped getting resources. And I suspect that is because the gas turbine, we switched from HV to EV. The HV one has a fuel efficiency, as you can see here, of 85%. And if you go up to EV, like we use on the new multi-block miners, that's down to 60%. So what that means is it uses significantly more benzene, and we're only giving it one super tank, so I think that's the issue. So in the end, I think it might be worth crafting up some more ender tanks so that we can send benzene to the multi-block miners in other dimensions. And there's also a way to get a wireless readout from the other dimensions, but I think we'll look at that next episode. Yeah, so it seems that we finished the episode with some troubleshooting, which we'll get to next time. But for now, I really want to thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about the new base design, kind of. I guess it's a new base design. I do spot some blocks up there that I missed, like all the slabs up there. I'm going to have to replace those. And there's some architecture blocks there on the side I also missed, I guess. Anyways, for now, thank you guys so much for watching. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you all in the next episode of Gregtech New Horizons.